right. Excuse me. Back in Montreal. Back home. Wunderbar, as they say. Right, Michael? What do you like better? Your daily routine or change the routine? Like, going away, whatever it is, business, vacation. What do you like better? It's a good question. There's no right answer. Welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zichin Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We share with Michael in Germany. Good afternoon. John is in North Carolina with us every day, day in, day out. Brett in Pennsylvania, and now becoming a regular. Amazing, Brett. Beautiful. Rabbi also, Morocco. Good afternoon. And Simcha is coming in from Florida. Gabriel from Curitiba. Where is that, if I may ask? I don't know. Cindy in Florida. Tim is in Texas, Boker Tov. Liba and Davida, the twin sisters, who had a twin birthday yesterday. And celebration continues. Baruch Hashem. Good morning. David is joining us from Puerto Vallarta. Good morning. I think that's in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Joseph in New Jersey, welcome. Mark Lozata is in Poland joining us. Rachamim in Houston, Texas, welcome. Diane in Arizona wakes up very early to join us very early for Hasidus. Brittany, daily routine, she says. Okay, she answered. Yeah, I think I'm that way too. Stan, good afternoon in London, as he's getting ready for Shabbos over there before us. Costa Rica, Tony is tuned in. Eugenia, fellow Canadian in Calgary. Is it still winter there? Here it's like I have to open the window. Excuse me. Because it's warm. We have Amir with us in Sarajevo, Bosnia. Welcome. All right. And Sandy is in Michigan, joining us. Daddy is in Oklahoma. All right, beautiful. Achim prefers daily routine. Okay. Elisa, West Virginia, Boker Tov. Rena in Colorado. Been sick with a cold. Feeling better today. Baruch Hashem. A refuah shlema. Speed recovery. Miller is joining us. Not certain where. Well, welcome. It's in Brazil. Ah, okay. Thank you. Curitiba. I hope I pronounced that right. The capital of the state of Paraná. Okay. Adil is here with us. Welcome. Mark in Portland, Oregon. Boker Tov. Ken is joining us in Mexico. Julie is in Pennsylvania, where spring flowers are blooming. No, already? Oh my gosh, amazing. Not above the 49th parallel. Team in Canada, welcome. Yeah, and in Mexico, Boker Tov. Ramona is in California. Good morning. Fabio, welcome. Jim is in California. Fabio's in Italy. All right, beautiful. We've got Vilma, Michael, Celeste. We have Antitella Benta joining us. Akoy in Lima, Peru. We have Skywatch. Mr. Purim, wow, not bad. Nathalie in Brazil. Bella has joined us. Okay. How is the entire universe going to be ready for the final redemption of Mashiach? Is it just our character that needs refinement or transformation? It'll be a time of no more greed. So it means that we're just not greedy and peaceful, or we'll turn our swords into plowshares. Is it only the humans that need to be divine? What mastery is needed? Just mastery over the self? So this is the ultimate purpose of creation, is a revelation of God, that God should be made comfortable in this home, in this lowest of low places, that God is comfortable, that God is revealed, that we make a dwelling place for him in this low world. So the lowness of this world is not only our darkness that needs to be transformed into light, but it's the materiality of this world. That the materiality of this world cries out, no, cries out is the right word, but exudes, I am nothing but a material physical thing. And therefore we perceive it naturally from at least the animal soul's perspective, and it's just there for me to master it, to dominate it for my own needs, my own personal desires. And therefore we conquer the world. We conquer people, conquer nations as a result. But that is allowing the divine that's in everything to remain imprisoned, in exile. But that's the uniqueness, as we have learned here in chapter 37, through our actions, and actually the previous chapter, we will bring about final redemption. It's up to you. It's up to me, or me first, then you. We all have to see ourselves first. That it's up to us and our divine service, our work. And what is that work? Through the mitzvah. The mitzvah is done with a physical object. Whether it's a pair of tefillin, whether it's a coin for charity, whether it's a candlestick for lighting the Shabbos candles, whether it's the lulav and the esrog that we use on the holiday of Sukkot, whatever it is. All of that is taking material things that are previously under the domain of klipa, of a shell that covers over on anything divine, and now it becomes a mitzvah object. Mitzvah object means it's an embodiment of the divine will and wisdom of God. When you look at a Torah, you look at a mezuzah, a Torah scroll, we perceive that it's divine because it's a reflection of nothing else but the divine. But then the material world, there's a minimal amount of the materiality that we will master, that we will dominate and bring out its inner truth, that it is a reflection of the divine and not just a material thing there that is to be dominated and conquest for my own personal needs and desires. Not that much. How many mitzvah objects are there? Says the Alter Rebbe in chapter 37, that it's not just now when we sing expressing words of Torah. I'm expressing words of Torah. That my animal soul gives vitality to my body, that I could move my lips and say these words. Where's the energy coming that the body has in order that I could say these words? Or words of prayer. Of course it's coming by being nourished. The body's being nourished by food and drink. That food and drink is an embodiment of klipa. Even kosher food. Kosher food's not holy. Inherently so. Mitzvah is holy inherently. Kosher food isn't. But yet, if I eat that kosher food and it becomes my blood, becomes my vitality, and now I learn Torah, I pray or do a mitzvah, whatever the mitzvah would be, what have I done? I haven't just used a material object for the sake of a mitzvah, for the sake of connection to God, through me and the object of the mitzvah, but now I'm even taking food and drink. Or for that matter, if I drove my car to the hospital to go visit somebody in the hospital, that vehicle that brought me there, the gasoline that I filled up so I could then use my car as a mitzvah mobile. It's a mobile mitzvah that allows me to fulfill a mitzvah. All of those things that I'm using for the sake of the mitzvah, that is inherently klipas noiga. It's a klipa that can be used for good or for bad. A car can be used, to go to the casino. Not good. A car could be used to go to the hospital. Good. To visit somebody. Food could be used in a gluttonous way. Or food could be used to give you vitality so you could pray, that you could study Torah, that you could, do any other kind of mitzvah. What happens is that thing that was previously under the guise or the domination of klipa now has been elevated through the act of the mitzvah. The gasoline that you put into the car itself, the ride in the car, the food that you ate, now also becomes absorbed in the Ein Sof, in God. It too becomes transformed. It too becomes transformed. So explains the Alter Rebbe, how is this all going to come about, the transformation of this world? And again, it's the world, not just us. You would think that it's just about me. No, it's about everything that is in contact with me. So, the entirety of the Jewish people are considered like 600,000 general branches, shall we say. And from those branches there are offshoots. So there's the general souls. So each of the branches having 600 branches, 600,000 branches, meaning 600,000 different general souls that have different unique purposes through Torah mitzvahs to fulfill. So, when an individual soul of the whole body of Jewish souls are then need to fulfill 613 commandments, which means 365 prohibitions. A prohibition in the terms that we speak over here is, prohibition means not to do something. Because when you do something that you're not supposed to, then what you're doing is giving vitality to Klippa. You're strengthening the power of concealment of God in you, the physical thing that you used, and in the world at large. And that negativity needs to be completely removed from this world. So when we don't engage in that negativity, we're not giving it vitality. And ultimately, it will be banished, this unclean spirit, from the earth. That's what Mashiach means. Furthermore, that will happen, that it's based on us dominating the world. So that means there's something that's crying out to me. That baked BLT sandwich to the Jew, that is a prohibition. Not allowed to eat it. By eating it, it's not that, oh, God gonna strike me? Actually, it's worse. You ruin an eternal plan. The eternal plan is to bring the divine into this world that I have a portion of, in fulfillment of. So by me staying away from that BLT sandwich, or from me not saying the things that shouldn't be said, that are lashon hara, that are evil, okay. Second. So, by me staying away from that negativity, I'm not giving vitality to Klippa. I'm allowing it to be ultimately destroyed. One second. So I'm allowing it to be, not to give it more vitality. And furthermore, by doing the positive commandments, the 248 positive commandments, what am I doing? I'm actually drawing the divine, elevating and binding not just myself, not just my vital soul, but all of the things that were used to do that positive commandment. I am now connecting that with the divine, and it becomes absorbed in God himself, making it an abode for God in this low world. So the lowness of this world is not just my darkness that I need to transform, but it's the darkness of the nature of the materiality of this world, that when I connect it with God, or to use again whatever materiality that I have and use it to bring me to bring me to do the mitzvah. So that materiality is now absorbed in the divine. So what does that mean? That means have a beautiful home with really nice stuff in your home. Not because that's something that you need to bring you comfort and to bring you pleasure, but that you make God more comfortable in this world and bring him more pleasure. How do you do that? Because you see your home as a vehicle for not self-aggrandizement, not self-directed pleasure and joy, but giving it to someone else. You open up your home to bring guests on Shabbos or during the week. You open up your home that people feel, wow, this is beautiful and comfortable. You give them the comfort. You give them the pleasure. That's achnasas orchim. That's bringing guests into your home and making them feel comfortable. I remember once going to a home in Jerusalem of a very, very poor family. I felt terrible eating there because they were poor. They were thrilled, but I felt bad. I felt terrible. I felt terrible. Now, if they were wealthy and they had plenty, I wouldn't feel that way. Now, that's no fault of theirs. It's not a question of faulting. I just want to point out, we should all have wealth and share that wealth. Not because that's what I need, not what I want, but because I see that wealth in the material I'm talking about here. Not just in the spirit, in the material. I see that wealth as a vehicle for a mitzvah. What happens to all that materiality? It becomes absorbed in the divine when I use it in that direction. So what happens? It becomes now revealed that that food that I ate was part of and absorbed in the divine. Slowly but surely, what's going to happen when we do that? We're transforming not just ourselves, not just what our lives are about, but what the materiality of this world is. It becomes absorbed. It becomes divine. It's very powerful. All right. Is there no audio on Instagram right now? It's mute. Okay. I'm going to start it. So the Vida asks, will there still be a need for the material when Mashiach comes? Absolutely. Because that's the whole point. The whole point is to experience God not merely in our soul, but in everything around us. That the material world is an expression of God, not a distraction to God. That's our choice. Or sometimes not even a choice, because we allow the world to be a distraction, that we allow it to be something that tantalizes us, that we only are drawn by the surface of what that thing is trying to entice us. That's what advertising in the world is, to entice me to just, you deserve it, have the pleasure, enjoy. That's all the klipa that's speaking. But when we understand that that shell has a divine element inside of it, and we focus in on that divine element, which is to be used for a higher, greater purpose, which is not self-directed just for my personal pleasure, but it's to give pleasure to another. So imagine you have food, and it's about giving it to your guests. You have a comfortable place. It's about them having the comfort. Not that you have the first and then you give the second to the others. No. That is the world being elevated through our actions and our divine service. Okay, some questions here. John, using your analogy, if we eat a bit, does that slow the elevation? If we eat the bit? What? Oh, the BLT. Oh, okay. Does that slow down the elevation of Klippas Nega to holiness? Yeah. So for a Jewish, someone who's in Jewish can eat it. That's not their rule, right? But yes, we slow down the process. Absolutely. We slow down the process. Absolutely. Brett, when Mashiach comes, will there be effects throughout the extraterrestrial universe? Absolutely, there will be. The rest of the universe will be uplifted, and the physical universe and the spiritual worlds will all be elevated because of us. It's like a lever. When you want to pick up a home, you pick it up from the bottom and lift it up. What happens? You have a 3-story home, you pick up from the bottom, now everything gets elevated. So there's many worlds, 4 stories. You pick up from the bottom, everything gets picked up. What's the bottom? This low world, a material world. Not like the spiritual world where souls and angels are in the Garden of Eden and they perceive godliness, but they're only getting a ray of light. But in this low world where we are seduced by a material world that tells us, hey, go for it. It's there just for you, for your pleasure, for your enjoyment. That's a klipa. It's there. So you could give pleasure. You could give enjoyment to another. The material, that is. Of course, it's also you using it. So you're using the food not for its pleasure. That doesn't mean you didn't enjoy it. It means your mindfulness is your highly deliberate choices, highly intentional, deliberate choices, that I'm using this to have vitality, to do what God needs from me, the mitzvah. That's what we're talking about. I hope, Brett, that that clarifies it. Thank you, Bradford. Thank you, Stan. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Beautiful. Amazing. Any other questions here? Okay. Akar, please share with us.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
All right, that's great. So I do think that majority of the people here in the club, in the house, comes from a Jewish background. I don't know how you'd be responding to my personality, because I don't have any differences regarding religion. I'm a Muslim by religion, and from my country, I'm from Pakistan, and I don't know.
Thank you for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for entertaining me and putting me up for the question. So I'm pretty much sure that you're very well versed about the religion, about your own religion. So like. What is the basic difference? How do you think there is any divide between religions, between Muslims and Christians and Jews? What is the basic divide?
So excellent question.
The Creator Almighty the same?
Yes. So excellent question. And maybe here is the great divide in how we serve. So what we're learning over here, and I think if my understanding is clear about other faiths and religions, it's about that this world is a pathway that leads you to a better world. It leads, so get your brownie points here, do what you have to do over here, that will lead you to a better place. In the Garden of Eden, in the world to come, and so on and so forth. What we're saying over here, that's actually not the ultimate purpose, is not the soulfulness that we will attain in another dimension after our time here, but it's actually here. It's here that God wants a dwelling place. He wants his very core essence being to be revealed, and that is dependent on us, on using a material world, as we've explained, right? Even food and drink, your car, your phone, right? We're using now. I've got two phones over here. Using one for Instagram, one is on Clubhouse. I've got my computer on Facebook. Using all of these tools of this world to reveal divinity, to reveal the presence of God. And that presence is by doing what he needs from us. So there I would call what the distinction would be, right? Is it like escaping this world to a better place, or is it actually revealing that this world is the place where God's presence, where he desires, and we reveal him through our actions? But that being said, I want to bring something that would be an equalizer between all faiths and religions. And it would not necessitate that I have to be Jewish. It doesn't necessitate that I have to be, whatever it'd be. And that would be, rather than looking to God and what I need from him, right, which then makes me, come on to God in my neediness and what I need from him, because ultimately he's the source of everything. He's the source of life, source of sustenance, of everything. But instead of perceiving our relationship with God in that manner, perceive our relationship of God. What do you need from me? You created me because there's something that you need from me that's unique, that I can give in your world, in this world that you created, to make this world a more godly place. That to make this world more a place of presence of goodness and kindness that reflect you, God. So what is needed of me to fulfill that? I think if we all thought that way, boy, would the world be different. As opposed, again, recognizing God, but what do I need from Him in order that I could have more in my life, that I could have more fulfillment, greater sense of self, which is how most people look in their connection and relationship with God. But if we would see it the other way around, God, what do you need from me? I'm there for you.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. You know what, Ronnie? I'm 36 right now, and I lived my 34 years of my life in a very programmed and a very conservative 9 to 5 rat race environment, studying for 16 years and then getting a corporate slave mindset job. And after 34 years of my existence, I came to the point that I was shattered to the core. Like, one question just came into my mind, and that is like, what is the purpose of my life? Why am I even here on this planet? Like, why am I existing? There will be a greater purpose? And that day I got enlightened. And
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, and I am serving the purpose of God. And I just wish that more and more people like us come forward and come out of this material realm to, everyone is so self-centered to the core that they don't even care about others. Like, what are they feeding on? Like, sometimes but still I have got high hopes, positive hopes for the better word, and that is what I am living for, and that is what my vision is, and that is what I'm looking for.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you very much for sharing. And again, if we just go through our day and think, what am I need? Like you're in the middle of a relationship with a friend, with a loved one, or just at work. What does God need from me now? How does He want me to respond to this situation? Not how I want to respond because I'm upset or I'm hurt, but how does He want me to respond? What would be the divine way to respond to this, as opposed to, like you said, the self-centered way to respond? So that's beautiful. So I think that's crucial. I thank you very much for sharing that, because it's necessary. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, folks, we're going to continue our conversation. It'll be Sunday again. I mean, Shabbos not, but Sunday we'll have a double header. It'll be at 10:30 a.m. An hour later than we started today, and we will continue this conversation. Very important conversation. We're not finished in this concept, but just to recap, the physical material world needs to be incorporated in the ultimate redeeming of this world. Intuitively, we would think it's only a human thing, and it's only the character of the person that needs redemption, that needs transformation, that needs to be, like Makar said, from being self-centered to be God-centered. But no, it's not sufficient. It's about everything that we touch in this world of a material thing that can be, not can be, but is ultimately meant to be part of the divine plan, that I use it in a way that it brings me to do what God needs from me. Yeah.
And to second your opinion, when you start up this divine journey, blessed journey, you get out of this, possession of material things, and you just spend. You don't have to worry about your own material being your, like, everything is fulfilled when you are fulfilling others. Like, it's phenomenal.
Yep.
Believe me, it's like a miracle.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Beautiful. All right, we need to conclude now, but we'll continue our conversation, God willing, on Sunday. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zechon Kadesh in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing day and a wonderful